Hello again. I posted MVI 9607. LA police shoot black man 33 times to death. Well, this can't do anything but help Officer Jason Van Dyke and the charges that were laid against him for having shot Laquan Mcdonald 16 times. And the reason that is, as I've said in previous videos, I wasn't there, nor were you there. Neither one of us that were there have any idea what goes on in the mind of someone that's in fear of imminent loss of his own life. The simple fact that so many bullets were fired by the officers in California, one has to assume that, again, their actions can't but help Officer Jason Van Dyke. In the video that I posted, MVI 9607, I did make a number of interesting comments, I believe. I said we really don't know how many police were involved at this point, and we don't know how many bullets were discharged. From what we were told, the individual in question was hit 33 times. Well, how many bullets were discharged? I think that's an important question. How many officers were involved is also another important question. As I stated, even in that video, what happened in Los Angeles can't do anything but help Officer Jason Van Dyke. He never should have been charged. Laquan Mcdonald was ordered to put down his knife. He chose not to listen. When an officer instructs someone to do something, they better do it. And I'm referring to what happened might not have happened if Laquan Mcdonald would have obeyed. Instead, he turned. You can see him turn towards the officer. You can see that he has a weapon in his hand. And I think it's a natural instinct for someone to defend themselves. And they'll discharge their weapons, as we saw happen in California, not just once, but on more than one occasion. And I made reference to another specific situation that took place 10 or 15 years ago in California. We'll see. If an officer orders someone to drop their weapon, they had best do it. Again, in the case of what happened in Los Angeles with this most recent shooting of a black man, I have no idea if that gun was just being held from reflex. A natural tendency when you're injured might be to grasp something that you're holding tighter. The police should have waited. They were probably behind cover. They weren't necessarily exposed. And without a doubt, it's overkill. Were these same officers trained by the same instructor that trained the other officer? Is it part of their policy and their manual? Once you engage, empty your weapon? I don't know. I told you what I think. We'll see what the jury thinks. In both Officer William Porter's case, he's the officer from Baltimore that was charged in the murder of Freddie Gray. And you can clearly see videos of Freddie Gray being carried to the paddy wagon with his head over on the side and his legs dangling beneath him. Watch as he's being placed into the paddy wagon. You'll see an officer grab his belt and lift him into the paddy wagon. William Porter is being charged with a crime by not having buckled Freddie Gray in. William Porter made a mistake. They should have called an ambulance. But he doesn't deserve to spend the rest of his life in prison for not having called an ambulance. I'm certain that if he would have known that Freddie Gray had suffered a broken neck, he would have called an ambulance, and none of this would have happened. Sort of know what I think. You know why I think what I think. The question now is, what do you think?